Hello. So today I'm going to be doing a video on creating a dewy skin. Sometimes I find in the summertime or on a daily basis or for events or whatnot, we try to achieve or we're looking to achieve more of a dewy finish or a dewy look. I want to kind of create a monochromatic dewy look today, which essentially means that I'm using very similar colors for all aspects of my face. And you'll see what I mean by that while I do my video. So this time around, I'm actually going to start with my foundation because I'm going to be using a lot of similar colors for my cheeks and my eyes. So the first thing I'm going to do is my skin is like super moisturized. Now, if you have more of an oily skin type, you still want to use a moisturizer, but you want to use a moisturizer that is oil-free. Using a moisturizer is super important because it really does help to create more balance in the skin and protect the skin. So if you have dry skin, you feel like you need to put moisturizer on. If you have oilier skin, you may not feel the need to put it on, but it is still really important. And on top of that, moisturizers that are formulated for oily skin also can have mattifiers in there, which is going to really help to minimize that excess shine in your skin. So you can still achieve a dewy look when you have more oily skin. It actually is going to be a little bit easier for you, which is great. But it's also all in the products that you're going to use. So I'm going to start with the liquid illuminator by NYX called Born to Glow. It is kind of like a pinky consistency, and I'm just going to apply it with my hands, and I'm going to put it all over my face. So it's going to actually look a little bit weird when I put it on because you can see that it is a different color than my skin, but because I'm going to be putting foundation over top, the whole idea is that I want to try to have like the glow and the dewiness of this product kind of beam through. All right, so then I'm gonna go in with my foundations. So I have my Naked Skin by Urban Decay in 1.5. I'm gonna do a little bit of that guy. And Naked Skin is a really great foundation because it is a buildable foundation. So if you are the type of person where on a day-to-day basis, you don't wear a lot of product or you are only wearing like a BB cream, the Naked Skin is great because you can get that BB cream effect by using a small amount of product. And then if you have days where days where you need to have more coverage because you have breakouts, or if you need more coverage because you're going to an event or a party or something, you can use the same foundation and just apply more, and it will give you more of a fuller coverage. The other thing you want to be doing when you're using Naked Skin foundation is you want to be buffing it onto the skin. So using a beauty blender or using a buffing brush, which can look anything like this. So it's a foundation brush, but it's actually round and the bristles are a little bit tighter, so you're kind of buffing it into the skin that way, and it creates a really nice flawless finish on the skin. You don't want to be using a regular sponge or a regular flat foundation brush because essentially you're going to be pulling the product, which is not going to give you the finish that the product is actually meant to give you. So sometimes products are formulated to be used with specific brushes for a reason. It's not just because, it's not just a selling feature, or a selling tactic, which I know can be like a, yeah, okay, does it really matter? I get it. Okay. So you can see that my face does not look pink anymore, but you can still see kind of like that shine or like soft dewiness to my skin that product underneath helped to give. Now, if you do have oily skin, at this point, you could apply a bit of a translucent powder to your T-zone. You could put a little bit underneath your eye area if you have lots of finer lines around there so that your makeup doesn't move or budge when you apply it to that area. But I'm actually going to use 2 different types of concealers today, just because I don't generally use concealers, but I want to show you how using multiple products can be beneficial depending on what kind of skin you have. So if you're a person who has darker circles around your eyes, if you have more pigmentation because the skin around your eyes is up to 10 times thinner than the rest of your face, you're gonna see more of those veins, puffiness is more obvious. So using a product that is meant to kind of counterbalance the color around your eyes will really help to minimize that. So I'm gonna use the color corrector in Peach by Urban Decay. It's the Naked Skin collection, and I'm just gonna do a really small amount of that just on the inside corners of my eyes. I haven't been getting a ton of sleep lately because of my little one, so this will really help to minimize any of that darkness around there. And then I'm also going to incorporate a tiny bit of concealer. Now, I don't want to put my concealer like directly underneath my eyes, because what'll happen is it will tend to sit a little bit more and crease a little bit more. So I want to blend it out underneath and up, and then I'm going to use my finger just to heat it up and warm it up underneath my eye rather. So I'm just taking this is not a foundation brush, but I have one like this that I just can't find, but this is just a blending brush. So I'm just going to use this just to blend that out, and you're just kind of feathering it out up into the temple, because this is also going to create a little bit more dimension to the skin. It's a bit of a lighter color, so I'm just working underneath, not too close to my eye. And then the same with this side here, and it's gonna lighten and brighten everything under my eyes. And especially as we age, we want to be using better quality product, as well as less is more. So if you are showing signs of finer lines or deeper wrinkles around your eye area, you don't want to be putting too much product. Less product is going to get you the best results, because it won't sit or sink into those finer lines. Oh, itchy. Okay, perfect. All right. So now that I've done that, I have another collection from Urban Decay. It's called the Shapeshifter. Now this one is the medium to dark, which I'm going to get away with using today. There is one that is a lighter color than this that probably would suit my skin a little bit better, but I'm gonna work with this because it's going to just add the dimension that I want to my skin with the contour and the highlight, because the cool thing about it is that it has a cream side and it has a powder side. So you can see the contour colors in here are quite dark. So I'm gonna use like the tiniest amount, but generally I use this on a darker complexion, and it's great because it has the highlight colors, and then I can use creams any which way that I want when I'm applying. So I'm actually gonna use that same brush that I blended my highlighter in. I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna do a little bit of this guy and a little bit of this guy, which looks ridiculous, but just for the sake of creating contour on my face. So, and I'm using more cream colors because I do want it to be a really nice, soft, natural, creamy, dewy look. And then if at that point when I'm done, if I wanted to take it and just kind of add a bit of powder, you can definitely do that too. So I'm just really, really gently gonna press a little bit of that into the area where I would contour with my powder. And then I'm gonna do a little bit around my forehead. And again, like less is more, especially because this color is a little dark for me. I don't want it to be too dramatic. Go a little bit on the jawline. And we can do the nose a little bit too. All right, and then I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and just kind of blend all of that in. And with this, you could use a brush too, but I like using the beauty blender, so. And around your jawline, you want to be blending down because you want to make sure that you don't have any darkness in and around here. And the nice thing about using creams is that sometimes it can look a lot softer on your skin than powders. And then once you blend that in, if you find that you need a little bit more, then you can go ahead and use a little bit more. Or you can kind of just leave it as is. I'm just gonna do a little bit more on that side because I feel like there wasn't as much on that side. And I'm really using like a pressing motion, almost like a press and twist a little bit just to kind of really blend it into my skin. I'm not pulling or wiping in any sort of way. All right. So I like the way that looks. It's super natural. You can almost barely even see it. Now I'm gonna go in with, now I have a little bit of contour, or sorry, highlight going on around my eye area. So I really don't need to do a whole lot more with that. If anything, we can start using a highlight. So I have this highlight. It is a cream highlight or a liquid highlight by Cover FX. It's the custom enhancer drops. So these are really cool because you can use them in your foundations. You can mix your foundations with them. You can mix your lipsticks with them. You can mix eyeshadows with them. You can do so many things with this. I got a little 4-pack. It's from Cover FX. So it has like a tanned color. This one is called Celestial, and then these two here are really like sparkly. So I don't tend to use them as often because they're very sparkly, but the nice thing about these Cover FX products is that they are really quite intense. So a little bit goes a long way. Like, you really don't want to put too much. Like, I'm like barely even touching, like barely putting product on there. All right, so you can see I've applied it just from right above my eyebrow, right up until where the apple of my cheek starts on both sides. I put a drop right on my nose because I really want to highlight and counteract that contour that I did, and then right on my Cupid's bow there too. And some people like to do the tips of their nose, some people like to do above their eyebrow and their chin. You can really highlight wherever you want. So I'm using the other end of my beauty blender to blend that in. And with this stuff, you kind of have to like pull it a little bit, because otherwise you can kind of see where you place it. Sometimes too, I put it on with my finger. And with this stuff, less is more, like 100%. Like if you put too much of this on, you're gonna look like a shiny disco ball. And I'm not looking for that. So to do my cheeks, I'm actually gonna do something a little fun. I'm gonna use a lipstick. I do not have any cream blushes, which you totally could use. I'm gonna use a lipstick because it's essentially using a cream blush. I'm going to use it with just like a fluffy brush like this. This one is a lipstick by Inglot. It's older, so I don't know if the numbers are still the same. It's number 194. It's really bright pink, and I'm just gonna use this brush just to kind of get some on the tip of it. And then I'm just gonna brush it really kind of softly on the apples of my cheeks. Oh. And what's nice about it is that even though it looks like a crazy bright pink color in the cap, like in the stick, when you apply it like this, it ends up going on a little bit more sheer. And then what you can do too is we can just take, we could take like another fluffy brush and just do this. So creating a monochromatic look is really kind of using the same color palette on your cheeks and on your lips. And on your eyes. All right, so now that I have that, the last thing I'm gonna do is my eyes and my brows. So I'm gonna apply my eyeshadow primer, because you can see like my foundation has already started creasing. So I'm gonna do that, just blend it in. And the nice thing about this look too is you can really amp it up if you want to by adding powder as a finisher. You know, you could go in with a powder contour, powder highlight. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this look is I'm going to do two things. I'm going to use my highlight and I'm going to use my lipstick. So because I put that eyeshadow primer on, it's really gonna help the creamier product sit nicely on my eyes and then also not crease as much. So I'm gonna use my lipstick and I'm gonna apply it. I just need my mirror here. And I'm gonna take a little bit of this and just put some on the back of my hand just so I can incorporate it as I want to into my eye look. Actually, what I could even do is I could mix them. Let's do that. So just with whatever pink was kind of sitting on my brush, I'm just dipping it into that highlighter color, and then I'm gonna go in and just really gently kind of brush that on to my lid. And it's nice because it almost creates like a really nice soft pink tone. Like a I'm there but I'm not there type look. And I'm just kind of pressing that into my eye. And the nice thing about this too is it doesn't have to be placed perfectly. And I'm actually gonna bring it up into my eyebrow, because that's gonna create a really nice softness to the look too, because you can barely see it. Normally I wouldn't bring darker colors up to my brow bone, but a lighter color I definitely will. And we're just gonna keep that on the top lid. We're not gonna do anything to the bottom lid. If you wanted to add an eyeliner or something to this look, you totally could as well. I'm not going to, because I want it to stay looking kind of soft and fresh. And sometimes liners can create a little bit more of a harshness to your look. So I'm gonna keep it just the way that it is. The only other thing I'm gonna do now is my brows, and then I'm gonna finish with my mascara. Now, the other thing too is if you have nice, full, beautiful brows, you can get away with not doing them. If you wanna fill in a couple of holes, you definitely can, but because this look is a little bit more natural, you can definitely get away with not putting as much brow product on, because my brows are not that great in terms of fullness, and there are definitely more holes in them. I feel like I need to apply brow product to mine just to kind of create that finishing look. So I'm just using the neutral brown brow beater from Urban Decay. It's just a really nice soft brown tone. Because this is more of a natural look, I don't want to go in with my gel. I don't want to create too much of a harsh line. And this is a great look for summertime too, because it's soft, it's fresh. Obviously it takes me a little bit more time because I'm talking about everything, but if I wasn't, it wouldn't take that long. And once you kind of get the hang of what you're doing, it shouldn't take you too long either. Especially if you work in an industry where you can't wear a whole lot of makeup or don't wear a whole lot of makeup, or you want to, but you don't really know how to apply it, that this is a really great technique that you can use to apply, and you can eliminate steps if you want to. And these brushes are these pencils are awesome because they go on really, really well. All right, so the last thing I'm gonna do is my mascara. I'm using my favorite all-time mascara by Arbonne. It's called It's a Long Story. It is amazing. It's vegan, gluten-free. Ooh. It's lengthening, it creates fullness. You can layer with it. So if you want just like a really nice natural lash, you can apply it once, like do one coat and let that be that. If you want to create a little bit more fullness and more drama to your look, then you can go in and apply 2 or 3 coats if you wanted to. Oh my gosh. And I'm not going to do the bottom lashes because again, I kind of want this look to be a very soft, subtle look. And then if you absolutely wanted to, another thing you could do is add a little bit of gloss. I have a little bit of extra highlight sitting on my hand, so I'm just going to go and apply that to my lips. With that lipstick, I'm going to put a little bit of that lipstick just right over top. All right. And there you have it. A nice, soft, summer, dewy look. The last thing you'd want to do before you go away, like walk away, is spritz yourself with a setting spray, because that's just going to help lock everything in. And other than that, you're good to go. So I hope that you took something away from this video. I hope that you like it. Please subscribe to my channel and put in any comments or requests. Also, I was curious to know who you follow on Instagram or YouTube that are inspiring makeup artists to you. Who do you go to for inspiration, to learn from in terms of tutorials and whatnot? I'd love to hear about who you follow. So put a comment down below and we'll see you again soon. Bye.